Hello, I'm Sheriff Bill Brown, bringing you the first edition of the Sheriff's Roundup for 2025, where we'll take a look back at the last quarter of 2024. In this edition of the Roundup, we'll tell you about the success of our recruit preparation program, and we'll track 2 recruits who participated in the training. We'll update you on the progress of Project Opioid and its efforts to save lives from fentanyl overdose. We'll take a look at the belated presentation of a Sheriff's Office Award to a civilian who helped one of our deputies in a time of need. And finally, we'll look at some of 2024's holiday cheer. In 2024, yeoman recruitment and hiring efforts by our amazing human resources team resulted in the hiring of 93 new team members, including 23 deputy sheriffs, 38 custody deputies, 10 dispatchers, and 22 professional staff. The hiring process is just the beginning of the journey into a rewarding career, and it's an investment by the Sheriff's Office in our team members' success. The leap from being a civilian to becoming a sworn law enforcement officer can be a tall one. To help bolster our recruits towards successful completion of the law enforcement and custody academies, our human resources team has developed a recruit training program to begin the transition to the academy. Since its inception in January 2023, through 11 custody and law enforcement academies, our human resources detectives have not only increased hiring by 19% from the prior 4 years, but they have also reduced the pre-academy failure rate by more than a third. This early career retention has resulted in more deputies and custody deputies achieving their goal of making a difference in our communities. Here to tell you more about the recruit preparation program is Human Resources background investigator Robert Alvidrez.
RIP is the Recruit Preparation Program, and it is a week-long program that we use prior to the pre-academy to help our recruits be better prepared as they enter the pre-academy and then off into the academy.
Some of you may quit, right? Because you'll realize that it's not for you. And that's okay. Be willing to learn, big ears, big eyes. We want to sharpen some of those character traits this week. And we really want to give you everything that we have so you can be successful.
We do explain to them that the tools and the guidance that we are giving them for this week is what's going to help them for the following week, and it's just part of our process. We have a lot of classroom time. We teach leadership, fitness, and nutrition. We have a commander from one of the sides come in and speak with them. We do a lot of Q&A with other deputies. It's more of an introduction to the department. We do a ton of marching, the steps, the movements. Another big item was getting their uniforms in, getting them prepped, making sure they know how to wear them, also shining boots. So when they show up to the pre-academy, they're ready to go.
Right now you have a governor in your head saying, I can't do it. We're gonna break that governor. Let's get it, y'all ready?
Sir, yes, sir.
As soon as they come into our background investigation process, we provide them all with a 12-week physical fitness program. So we hope when they come into the RIP program, they're physically fit, they're well prepared, and they're ready for the physical stress that's going to be put on them throughout the academy. We have recruits that don't take advantage of the 12-week physical fitness program. They show up and they're not ready. So we're really stressing the importance of physical fitness right away in our backgrounds.
It's very helpful to come prepared. It's not going to help you at all to come to the RIP program expecting us to get you ready for the academy. You should already be ready to go. We can build on what you have, but it's imperative that you come prepared. The demands that the academy is going to put on you already is tough. It's a rigorous program, but if you're already in shape and your mindset's solid already, it makes it that much easier.
To be in law enforcement, we're really looking for that professional, and that entails self-discipline. And then also seeing the big picture, and that's where a lot of our leadership comes into play. This is always a team effort. And part of that role is camaraderie and building a team who we know from experience as they go through the academy, they're going to be like a small family. It's amazing to see them grow just through that first week.
I'm going to do the best I can to help prepare you for the longevity of your career. At the end of your career, you'll look back and you'll remember the faces. You'll remember the calls of the people who you helped, and it's very rewarding. You'll look back and you'll be thankful that you did take this opportunity to join the Santa Barbara Sheriff's Department and help this community.
Wow. My pleasure. Congratulations. My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. Seriously.
Thank you, Detective Alvidrez, and to the entire Human Resources team for your continued hard work and dedication to ensuring that the Sheriff's Office is hiring the best of the best and preparing them well to serve our county. In June of 2023, we began following 2 of our Sheriff's Deputy trainees as they began their career with the Sheriff's Office. Deputies Alleman and Pereira, along with 11 other deputy trainees, made their way through the recruit preparation program, the pre-academy, the Allen Hancock College Law Enforcement Academy, and finally, through the field training program to become full-fledged sheriff's deputies who now patrol Santa Barbara County. Let's take a look at their journey.
All right. March. Down. Up. 6. Down. 3. 4. Get down, sir. Get down. Stop resisting, sir. Stop resisting.
We're class 126. I'm Adam 01, which means I'm alphabetically first. This class has been a lot of fun, getting to know everyone. These are the relationships that we're going to hold on to the rest of our careers, and you're going to have to rely on these people. So coming together as a team now is paramount.
Been here for 3 weeks for the actual academy and a week of pre-academy.
It's very challenging to get through. While you're going through it, if you want to be successful with it, you do have to put your family and personal life aside, just so you can focus on accomplishing this goal. Just really pushes you past your boundaries and learn what your limitations are, or get past what you thought those limitations were.
So far it's tough, it's rigorous, but that's the point of why you apply for something like this. Is you're here to be tested, you're here to grow stronger, and every day that you're tested, the more your character grows and the more that you're able to deal with those hardships and be able to help other people that are going through a much more difficult time.
Once you come to the academy, you need to be able to look out for your partner. You need to make sure that they have their equipment so they can perform their job, and you have to be able to do that for everybody, not just for yourself.
It's day by day, from 0800 to 0900, we're doing PT. That's what I got to focus on. Okay, 0900 to 1200, baton training. Okay, that's all I need to worry about right now. When I get home, okay, what do I need to do? I need to do my memos, I need to do my uniform, my boots. It's just one task at a time. Everything seems impossible until you break it up into manageable chunks till the task is complete.
It doesn't stop after you leave the academy. You still have to go home, you have to do your memos, get ready, get your dinner. By the time you're done, if you're lucky on a good night, you're down by midnight and you're up again at 5 in the morning. I gave up an entire career prior to this, so I'm ready for it. Nothing's gonna stop me, and I'm gonna get this done.
Graduation day was, I was nervous for it. I got to hold the flag and walk in front of everyone else coming in. All eyes were on me. I didn't have other people to kind of look and see if I was in step or in the right spot. I also saw my family when I was walking right up, and they were front and center for where we were walking, so I was like, oh, I gotta make sure I do this right. They were really loud at graduation, so I knew where they were. And it was an honor to be able to lead the class in that way.
I have to say, I worked very hard to get to that day, so it was pretty surreal. Once I arrived at the day, it didn't feel like it was actually happening. It was still part of a dream, but it was very exciting to get up there, and I was chosen to be the class sergeant for my class, which is a decision by my colleagues. I didn't do anything special for it. I just showed up every day and tried to help everybody out along the way, and I was very proud of them as well as myself.
Having done athletics my whole life, I've been around a lot of teams. I've never seen people get so close so quickly as with the academy. Having that as a social support group, everyone going through the same thing, that meant a lot to, I think, all of us.
Prior to this, I was actually a victim advocate, and I had the opportunity to work with victims of human trafficking, sexual assault, and domestic violence. And in working with victims that were just were survivors at that point that were going through so much trauma and stress, made me really want to come to this side of the field and step in and help. You get to show up for somebody's worst day. And if you've had anybody show up for your worst day, you know what an important role that is. And I want to be able to do that for everybody on a daily basis, and that's why I'm in the job.
But I do have an arrest warrant too.
Okay.
So she's going to go to jail.
I do feel ready to go out on the streets now. I feel that the academy gave me the foundation I need, all the basics to get out there. But quite honestly, I have so much more to learn, and I just want to focus on getting past training, taking in, being a sponge and absorbing all the information that I can. And in the future, I hope to be a detective, so I'm in it for the long run.
The academy was its own beast, its own animal, as everyone is going to agree. And then once you get out into field training, you start doing things for real. You know, it's nice to have the academy give you that foundation of stuff that you're supposed to learn, but then once you get to FTO, it's a whole different fire hose of information. It's a lot more fun when you're out actually doing things yourself. You're learning, and you have someone with you that can help kind of guide you in the right direction, but then the more you do, the more you try, the better you get at doing things without people's help. Before we start our shift, we get typically a different car each day. The gist of it is you sign into your computer, you sign into the Coban, and you make sure that the guns are patrol ready. You'll check the lights to make sure all the lights are working, so that when you flip them on, for whatever purpose, everything works. You make sure that there's no damage to the car. It's kind of a quick and easy first part of your shift. It kind of helps get you in the mindset of, okay, work is started.
Security check for a suspicious subject seen attempting to break into apartment 18 in Hollister Village Apartments.
With 66. I'm working night shift in Goleta on the front end of the week right now. Nights are a lot different. There's less people out and about, so it's kind of up to you to stay active. So now it's just working on trying to get as much experience as I can and taking as many calls as I can to be able to be the best deputy that I can be. So my partners checked the far side and they're driving through and going through here right now. They asked me to check this side of the complex. Someone on a bike, some college age with a gray jacket. It's got its hood up. I remember coming to work and being afraid. I remember feeling my heart rate go up and feeling like it beat out of my chest versus now I'm super relaxed when coming into work. I'm excited to come into work to be able to see what's gonna happen tonight, because every night's gonna be different. I like being able to go out and look for things and look for new situations that are going to test me. 3566 out, yeah, with one possibly related 6950 Hollister. Every call you might hear it come out and you think you know what's gonna happen, and it just doesn't go that way. Like a vast majority of the time. Stay open-minded, because things are rarely what they seem. Doing that over and over and over again, you get a whole lot of perspective, you get a whole lot of knowledge. Anything that's gonna help me get more experience, the better everyone's end result's gonna be. And I think that you gotta keep learning, whether it be yourself, your squad mates, the people that you're going to calls for. I just get a call of someone matching your description that was trying door handles around this area.
I don't know why I'd be doing that.
You have that duty to them to be able to learn as much as you can and to continue to learn and want to be better. 3566, contact was unrelated. We're 10-8 from that.
There's a couple of bars in town, so usually I will be around the area making sure nobody's drinking or driving. Being out and patrolling usually keeps people away from trying to commit a robbery or burglary, so just staying mobile in the area. Currently I'm working in the Carpinteria station. I'm working night shifts and now coming on to patrol. It has been what I've expected and then some. Now I'm just starting to see the reward from all the work that went into it. I really am starting to find myself now. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel now, and really take the time and the opportunity to start doing what I wanted to do, which is help families. I have had the opportunity to work some cases through, some very difficult cases that have been very rewarding to see the family member on the other side and said, we did this. Even though you've already had the experience, you feel like you need so much more time before you go on your own. But at the end of the day, you realize that every call that you show up to, you're just gonna have to figure every single one out. And you do have the experience with the training that is provided during field training. It really has been incredible to see the growth within yourself. If you're somebody who likes a challenge and who wants to change things up, the really nice thing about the department is that there's so many things you can do. I love to learn. Once I've learned that certain area, I'm ready to learn something new, and the department offers that for you. It's hard work, it takes dedication, but you're talking about a year's worth maybe for an entire career as long as you want it to be. I definitely recommend it.
Thank you, Deputy Ellerman and Pereira, for letting us follow along with your progress and for giving the community a peek into what the early stages of a career with the Sheriff's Office looks like. Next, I want to share an update on the progress that's been made in combating the fentanyl crisis here in Santa Barbara County. I'm relieved to share that during 2024, Santa Barbara County recorded a dramatic decline in overdose deaths, particularly in fentanyl-related deaths. For 2024, there were 90 drug-related overdose deaths, down from 157 in 2023, a 43% reduction. Of those overdose deaths, 54 of them were fentanyl-related, down from 110 during the same time period in 2023, and that's a 51% decrease. The amount of deadly drugs taken off our streets increased in 2024 thanks to the deployment of an additional Sheriff's Narcotics Enforcement team. In the first half of 2024, there were 4.8 pounds of methamphetamine and just under 1 pound of fentanyl seized, along with $18,000 in asset forfeiture. With the additional narcotic enforcement team in place and operational from July through September of 2024, these seizure numbers increased to 41 pounds of methamphetamine, 5 pounds of fentanyl, and almost $65,000 in asset seizures. That's a 758% increase in methamphetamine seizures, a 515% increase in fentanyl seizures, and a 260% increase in asset forfeitures. Paralleling the enforcement efforts of the Sheriff's Office were the shared strategies of our Project Opioid partners in increasing prevention, education, treatment services, and harm reduction through an increased awareness of the dangers of opioids, widespread Narcan distribution by our agency and our partners at Behavioral Wellness, Public Health, the University of California at Santa Barbara, and the Pacific Pride Foundation. We have executed through all of these an all-hands-on-deck effort to bring a sharp decline to overdose deaths in Santa Barbara County. We will be continuing those efforts vigorously in 2025. In the last edition of the Roundup, we summarized our annual award ceremony where we recognized members of our organization and the community whose efforts increase public safety. One person who we intended to recognize was unable to be at the ceremony. Cole Troya, a firefighter for the U.S. Forest Service, was deployed on a fire operation and could not attend. Recently, we presented him with his award in the same sheriff's squad room that we're filming from today. It was dark and raining heavily when Lieutenant Arnaldi's car began to hydroplane, causing his car to slip sideways onto the curb of a steep driveway. The impact caused the car to bounce over the curb and slide down the steep hill. The vehicle rolled at least 3 times. Mr. Troya arrived at the scene of the accident. He began to take the risky hike down from the main driveway down the canyon. And when he reached the wrecked vehicle, it was clear that it was not being held securely in place, and that it could dislodge and it could continue to roll down the steep hill with any wrong move. Nevertheless, Mr. Troya held the door open, which allowed Lieutenant Arnaldi to self-extricate, and he then guided Butch to a nearby trail where first responders had created a human chain to help them climb out of the steep canyon. So for his courageous actions under perilous conditions, Mr. Cole Troya is hereby awarded the 2023 Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office Civilian Certificate of Merit. Congratulations, Cole, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cole, for your assistance provided to the Sheriff's Office and particularly to Lieutenant Butch Arnaldi. We are very grateful for your actions. I want to close out this edition of the Sheriff's Roundup with a recap of some of 2024's holiday cheer. It all started in October with our annual pumpkin decorating contest, where members of the Sheriff's Office team compete for the crowd favorite award. This year's winner was the Business Office with their 101 Dalmatian themed entry. They even dressed up to match their winning creation. I'm pleased to say that the joy of giving is alive and well here at the Sheriff's Office. As in previous years, our Quality of Work-Life Committee rallied together to bring toys and gifts to the Good Samaritan Shelter. The Santa Barbara County Deputy Sheriff's Association Foundation partnered with Domestic Violence Solutions for their annual Shop with a Sheriff events, which took place in Goleta, Lompoc, and Santa Maria. A total of 160 children impacted by domestic violence each received a $100 shopping spree at Target in Goleta and at Walmart's in Lompoc and Santa Maria. And finally, our programs unit at the jail gathered artwork from incarcerated persons in our jail who had competed in a contest for their art to become the centerpiece of the Sheriff's Office annual holiday card. The winning submission, a child cradling a globe in his hands and distributing hearts throughout the world, depicted the meaning of Christmas to be spreading love. What a fine way to say goodbye to 2024 and hello to another year. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of the Sheriff's Roundup. Thanks for tuning in, and thank you for supporting us as we serve and protect you.